What's up people, we are back with more SC2VN. In the previous video, we were at the VSL studios to see Team Crash versus Team Caney, I believe. And then Jet made a bet with Stunt about who was gonna win. And Jet said that Team Crash was gonna win, and then double if, what was his name? Axel could do an all kill on the opponent's team, and Team Crash is down 0-3 right now. So the only way for them to win is to actually reverse all kill the opponent's team, so he has to win 4 times in a row. So yeah, it's a tough task for Axel, but can he do it? We'll find out. With a calm look back at his coach and a nod, he rises to replace his fallen teammate. It seems that Crash will send Axel as their final player. Will he be able to prevent the all kill from Xing? Oh yeah, that's right. Their opponent also is currently doing an all kill. Because if he defeats Axel right now, then he has performed an all kill by defeating all 4 of the opponent's team. We must take into account Caney's morale. The momentum in the series certainly favors a 4th and final victory. Axel, do not lose! A few of the people seated in front of Jet wince at the volume of her jeer, turn around, stare, and then realize they were about to shush a VSL champion. By the time she's finished signing a phone case from one of them, Axel is in the booth and ready to go. Alright Axel, think you can bring it back, Riva? No single player on Caney can match Axel. I find myself in agreement with that, but Riva's specific wording and the lack of conclusion makes me wondering. What could be the final match of the day begins now. Axel against Xing, who will emerge victorious. Axel looks at home in the booth. He shows the 4 of us a smile and a thumbs up just before the game loads in. Oh, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. Despite the dire position his team is in, Axel wastes no time fighting back for control of the series. He deflects the Caney's players' pressure with a well-positioned marine force at the top of his ramp, killing off a zealot and scaring away a stalker. A vital maneuver! The Protoss now lack the information on whether or not Axel is expanding. How will he cover his options? Axel's cloaked Banshee is nearly complete. The Caney player hesitates, and a second later throws down an expansion. Jet heaves a sigh of relief, confident that the game is decided. Classic Protoss move. Don't think, guess. It's true that if Axel had been expanding, the Caney player would have earned a slight edge. Instead, he is forced to watch helplessly as Axel's Banshee flies straight into his base and blasts his worker line to pieces. Bam! With a highly delayed and evidently begrudged GG from Caney, Axel puts Crash on the board. 1-3, yeah! Ha! Salty that he didn't get his all kill. Why did the Protoss leave so early? He could have at least gone for a base trade or something. Are you kidding? Terrans have had base trades figured out for almost a year now. God, I wish my gateways could fly. I guess, but there's no reason to throw in the towel so early. Even if he was going to lose, he could at least try to wear Axel out for the games to come. Axel could easily bring this back. But even with his team's first loss, the Caney coach looks confident. He gestures for one of his youngest players, speaks to him for almost an entire minute, and then sends him to the booth. This is probably one of those players that has only practiced specifically to take out Axel. The Caney coach sends an amateur Terran to face Axel. He must have confidence in either his young talent or remaining 2 players. We must assume he wants to give the young Terran some experience. Certainly there is no other reason to send him against as strong a contender as Axel. Riva watches the Caney coach impassively, never allowing her attention to leave him until the 5th game loads in. Gah! Kenny opens with the command center first. It seems that the Kenny team has a strong preference to set the pace of the game and force their opponents to react. How will Axel respond? Axel is going to scout it and throw down his own CC. What else? He'll out-macro this kid anyway. Riva answers Jed with a nod, though not in a way that makes her seem particularly pleased. As predicted, Axel's thorough scout discovers the Kenny command center early enough to stay in an economy-focused game. Even with an amateur Terran slight advantage, Axel claws his way back onto even footing and then claims the lead when he catches a drop en route to his base. Bam bam ba 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 bam! The Crash fans roar a cheer when Axel charges his opponent's tank line in a way reminiscent of old Brute War mech battles. Old habits die hard. Even with the game all but decided, the Kenny Terran remains until Axel moves forward to destroy his base. Just before offering the GG, the Kenny amateur scans to reveal all of the Axel structure. Oh, maybe this is part of the plan as well, like they just want him to wear him out in a sort of long game to sort of see what his plan is going to be in a TVT or something, I don't know. As I thought, this is just purely for scouting purposes. They expected to lose this, I think. I wince as Jet belts out an ear-shattering cheer and then turn to Riva. What do you mean? Kenny will send their Terran ace. Not such a hard guess, really. But even the previously confident Jet watches Kenny's bench now. Sure enough, their team's ace pulls themselves to his feet, peels off his team jacket, and tosses it to a squealing fangirl. Woo! Did he just sniff it? I'm just going to pretend I didn't see that. What? The Crash coach paces back and forth with his hand behind his back. His bench looks far more invested in the series than they did 2 games ago. What a treat! The highest level of Terran versus Terran is about to unfold before us. I am excited to see how Axel measures up. His TVT has always been his strongest matchup. Alright, TVT. Jet and Riva watches restlessly as the game loads up. Even Stunt has stopped cheering against Crash. Kenny will go command center first. If Axel does not 2-racks, he will be at a disadvantage. See, they sort of see how he reacts to the same build that this Terran ace is going to go, and that way the Terran ace will have an upper hand because they will pretty much do the same exact build, and then the Terran ace will at least know what's coming, and then he can at least try to outperform that. Are you from the future or something? What's with these super specific predictions? Shut up. Watch. Axel opens with a standard play and repeats the scout of his opponent's CC first at a timing near identical to last game. Feigned bunker aggression provokes brief panic in the Kenny ace, forcing him to pull a handful of SCVs to contest what could be a direct counter to his build. A good move, but it will not be enough. When the fake rush ends, the Kenny player throws his head back, heaves a sigh of relief, and smiles. He begins teching aggressively, a dangerous option without scouting Axel. Can you please explain what's going on? Why do you know what's happening before it happens? The Kenny ace used the amateur to bait out Axel's response to CC first. This isn't something that would be possible if they weren't ahead by so many games. Yeah, that's very true. If they didn't have like because they had a 3-game lead, they essentially had 3 games to win it, right? So 3 throwaway games just for tactical purposes, if they wanted to use it that way. They sent their best player to face Axel with full knowledge of his reaction, but Axel can adapt on the fly, right? Easier said than done. Sure enough, Axel's answer is the exact same as it was to the amateur before. Improvising is a rare skill for StarCraft players, even for some as skilled and well-rounded as Axel. The Kenny player will build 2 starports behind his natural to avoid Axel's typical scan patterns. He will then clear out Axel's map vision with Hellions and then camp Axel's production with Banshees and Vikings. This isn't over. Axel will scout the gas timings and might realize that something is off. But the strategy proves to be too specific for Axel to cover without scouting directly. The missile turret in his working line won't protect his production structures. Axel's scan misses the mark by mere pixels. There's no chance he'll be prepared in time. With the center of the map clear, the Caney Terran flies straight for Axel's base. Unbelievable! We rarely see such a unit composition, but it is the perfect answer in this scenario. Oh no, Bam Bam! Poor Axel. The Vikings keeps Axel's inferior air force at bay, while the Banshees pound Axel's structures and tanks without answers. An attempt to establish a missile turret defense costs Axel a ton of workers, and he eventually, when he eventually stabilizes, his army is less than half the size of Caney Ace. The game is over, yet Axel remains until the bitter end, trading as cost efficiently with his inferior forces as he can. It's only once the Caney Ace dances his units back and forth that Axel finally taps out. No! A cheer from the Ace's fans announces the conclusion of the series, 4-2 for Caney. Damn. Stunt won the bet. Luckily, Stunt has the sense not to gloat about the money now that he just won from Jet. The four of us sit in silence as we watch Axel agonize over his loss. While Caney is huddled together with smiles and cheers, all of Crash sit with their head down to save Axel, who still hasn't left the booth. His coach looks furious. He barges in through the booth's back door and raves at Axel from behind his back. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Frustration is one thing, but Axel won 2 games before he went out. Even if he had gone down without a win, there's no reason to yell at him. How is that supposed to help? Just as my anger on Axel's behalf reaches the point that I think to say something to Jet, Axel rises from his seat and slides past the coach without so much as a glance in his direction. Should we go talk to him? Yeah, come on. Poor Axel, what the hell, that coach, man? The 3 Korean commentators are in the middle of winding down the series with post-match analysis when we rise and exit through the studio's back door. Oh man, we find Axel standing alone with a palm on his forehead, face palm, when he catches our footsteps. Axel turns to regard us all with his typical grin. I lost. Oh well. His carefree attitude is unique among professional gamers. If the average pro isn't angry or depressed by a loss, they're at least frustrated. Part of me wonders whether or not Axel is just covering up his true feelings, but he seems genuinely fine. Bad luck, Axel. You played well. Yeah, thanks. What's the deal with your coach? He seemed really upset with you. Axel scoffs, allowing the disgust in his voice to show on his face. He's useless, especially considering that I do his job for the team league. Busted my ass preparing for tonight, picked out the builds and the snipers and everything, drilled the team for more than a week. And your coach has laid the blame for the loss at your feet. Axel nods and glances away. Spectators begin filtering out of the studio, offering us curious looks as they head outside. Looks like the studio is done for the night. It's ridiculous, and not a single person on Crash had the guts to back me up. I didn't switch from Brood War to suffer spineless teammates and a coach with an ongoing midlife crisis. Hey Axel, we have a space left. We can kick Stunt. I'm joking, Stunt. And you shouldn't have to, Axel. Ditch Crash and come coach for us. That's a possibility too. 4 pairs of eyes land on Jet, and all but Riva's bewildered. Axel recovers quickly before crossing his arms. You know I can't. I have a contract. It's not up until next year. A player contract, one that bars you from playing in star leagues for any team but Crash. Ah, I get what you're saying. Even so, I can't break the terms. I'm required to play from them. for them. They can take legal action against me if I don't. And you will, if they insist on it. Live, train, and coach at our team house. All you have to do is show up once a week to play your matches at the studio, and Crash can't do anything. Riva pushes her glasses up against the bridge of her nose, pensive. Stunt stares wide-eyed, as if a pivotal scene in a drama is playing out. As for me, we could really use you, Axel. You deserve better. Yeah, you deserve 3 noobs plus Jets. If I do this, and the team doesn't work out, my career is over. He says it as much to himself as he does to the rest of us. It's true, and probably true for everyone else as well. Axel stares at the floor for a while, deep in thought. When he finally looks up, it's with a casual shrug. Screw it. I've put off mandatory military training for too long anyway. I'm down. Yes! Stunts let loose an ear-shattering cheer and flings his arms into the air. Riva's glasses nearly fall off in surprise, though she manages to catch them by the frame. Hell yeah! Team Enoch #1! Okay, Stunt, calm down. What a motley crew. A cafe whelp, a ladder hero, and a no-name foreigner. And now some laid-back Hyung. You forgot the washed-up champ. Oh, shots fired. Try as he might, Jet can't hide the satisfied grin showing on her face. Everything has really come together. I mean, this is obviously the best possible scenario because Axel can't really play for us, but obviously he is a talented enough player and somewhat experienced in the coaching role as well, that we sort of found a loophole in his contract that he's able to coach for us, meaning that because he's required to play for Crash, but he doesn't play for us, right? He just coaches us. So yeah, basically just found a loophole to have Axel help us while not violating his contract. This is it. This is what I came to Korea for. The months of endless ladder, the late night online tournaments. I'm on a team, a real team. We need to celebrate. Oh, you want to treat the team? How kind of you, Mach. Jet glances around to see if her quip earned a laugh, only to find Axel wagging a finger at her. Have you already forgotten who convinced you to take the risk and form your own team? I'd say that's worth a bottle of soju or 2. Or 10. Tch. Jet brings a finger to her lip, either considering which bar to take us to, or how to get us out of playing, or how to get out of paying. Alright, enjoy the hell out of tonight. It'll be the last time until we've got a championship trophy that will celebrate anything. Got that? Good choice. Hell yeah! Wait, Stunt, you can't even drink. Understood. With a nod from Jed, the 5 of us walk shoulder to shoulder in high spirits. But just as we're about to descend the stairs, Jed pauses. Wait, Axel, do you need to go talk to your team or anything? That stops the rest of us in our tracks. We turn and find Axel at complete ease. Nah, I'll take care of it later. With a knowing smile, he leads us down the stairs and out onto the street. Oh yeah, it's party time, let's go! The bar that Jet had in mind was halfway across the city, though after a subway ride it doesn't take us more than 30 minutes to arrive. The trendy looking lounge is packed with 20-somethings, most of them older than even Axel. Stunt walks ahead. I just look at that guy, I imagine him walking in, everybody's like 20 and he's like high schooler, right? So, was he just in high school? Is he like 13 or something, 14? And he walks in and like, yeah, give me 1 bottle of orange juice. Stunt walks ahead of us with a swagger, noting with pride on the way over to our table that he has a fake ID and goes to bars all the time. Dang, kid. With who? Your mom? With your mom, bitch! My mom is in the US though. Oh, Your flight landed already? Oh, that was a nice one. I can't help but laugh. Stunt is incredibly immature, even for his age, but there's something undeniably uplifting about his enthusiasm. With all of the booths full, we pick out a table close to an empty dance floor. It's cramped with the 5 of us, but we make do. Man, I can't remember the last time I went out like this. Spent much of this year cooped up in a trash team house. Same. VIP's mandatory hours were brutal by Star 2 standards. No one even made a good use of them. A scruffy waiter dressed no differently than the bar's patrons stopped by to ask our drink orders before Stunt can return to bragging about his iron stomach. Yeah right, he's gonna take one drink and then has drunk already. Jet shows 3 fingers for the number of soju bottles she wants, and with a click of his tongue, the waiter departs with our order in hand. There's 5 of us though, Jet. You think I can't count? You can't drink soju from a bottle. Oh, well, I've never had it before. That is not a surprise. Soju is unpopular outside of Korea. We'll show you how to do it right, Mach. While awaiting the server's return, I noticed Axel's glancing repeatedly in Riva's direction. Mach, what ended up happening with Riva? And who's our friend here? Oh, he doesn't know. I am Riva, and allow me to say that it is a great pleasure to meet you in person. Your play has been an inspiration to me. Is Riva an Axel fangirl? She'd have been maybe 15 at the prime of his Brood War career. Well, a shame that these punks didn't have the decency to introduce us properly. It's nice to finally meet you, Riva. No lie, your mech is the best I've seen outside of VSL. You've got to show me the timings on your double armory build at some point. Holy, she dropped something. She's like, oh my god, he praised me. You too. I think he broke her. It's okay, Riva. I've been there. Riva manages to mostly pull herself out of her fangirl shock by the time our waiter returns. Oh, look at that bottle of soju. When he's gone, Axel pours out a shot glass worth of soju and hands it to me. Go on, in one gulp. There isn't much liquid in the glass, so I throw it back without a second thought. It takes a few seconds for my taste buds to react. This stuff is awful. All I can do not to retch. It's good. How does a guy learn Korean without coming across soju at least once? It's kind of impressive actually. I learned online. Wasn't even part of my lessons actually, I guess. That is one of the most difficult ways to learn a language. How did you manage? K-pop and StarCraft. Oh yeah, K-pop. I love me some K-pop. I've been listening, like, I went to the Philippines because obviously my family lives there from my mother's side, and I go there like once every 2 or 3 years. And I think maybe 9 or 6 years ago or something, I went there and I heard 21 for the first time. That was like around the time they debuted it. And after that, I fell in love with K-pop, and I've been listening to K-pop ever since, so hell yeah. K-pop and StarCraft. They didn't offer Korean as a language option at my high school, so I studied it in my spare time. K-pop? Disgusting! I knew we were Korea boo scum. What? Stunned, what the hell? At least I did something useful with my dumb hobbies. Can you say the same? How's your English? Oh yeah, gotcha there, Stunt. Hello! I am Stunt. Protoss! I am one! Very bad. Used 2 names to help and said lies. Bad student and player needs to work harder. Riva asks for my approval with a look. I give it with a nod. Bad what? What'd she say, Mach? Bad luck. You were almost perfect. Ha! I knew it! I'm a natural! I pour out a shot for Axel, relieved when the culture test is over. Jet's 3 bottles are soon emptied, and then replaced. The soju-fueled conversations range from StarCraft and team houses to fashion and college, and whatever else in between. You three are so lucky! Korean guys dropped 2 of their golden years on the military. It's totally unfair. Tell him, Axel. Oh, that's true. Like, the girls don't have to do don't have to go to military, and I'm foreign, so he kinda has a point there. Stunt points at Jet, me, and then Riva. Neither of them seem particularly ruffled. Axel only watches, slightly drunk and highly entertained. I would gladly spend 2 years in the military to reap the benefits of your gender. Seriously, do you have any idea how uncomfortable being pressured into some brain-dead photo shoot with a pink keyboard is? Smile, Agashi. Headphones don't sell themselves, you know. Why don't you lose the team jacket and pull your shirt down a bit? Oh my god. Oh, I want to see you with double eyelids by next time. Look at Jet's supposedly cute face. That's probably like the face they want her to put up for photo shoots, you know? And then she's like, ugh, I'm not like that. It's just like that. Literally the worst. Dear God, Jet. Please, never do that again. Sponsors pay you to sit in front of a camera. How terrible. Don't tell me that there aren't advantages for girls in esports. It's so much easier to get on a team, and you get way more fans. The problem is, like, even though some of that may be true, what Stunt says, girls don't, at least, you know, girls in esports, like there are girl streamers that obviously do it for that reason, but we're not gonna go into that. But girls that just want to compete and are in esports, they don't want to be famous or known or in a team for those reasons. They want it for the same reasons as guys, basically, because they want to feel that they're good enough and deserving to be on a team and deserving to compete on the highest level possible, not because they look good or because they're a girl or whatever. Their gender basically just doesn't matter to them. You cannot understand without experiencing it firsthand, so you only see the good. Come on, Mach, back me up here. Honestly, I gotta go with Jet and Riva on this one. Stunt is still a little immature, he's still a little boy, still a kid. It's hard for everyone, Stunt, but you have to admit that girls trying to make it in esports have to worry about things that guys don't give a second thought to. Psh, like? When I was an amateur back in Brood War, some gross KGPA pen pusher said he'd help me get a pro license if I spent the night at his place. I had just turned 17. Oh my god, that's disgusting. All of our eyes shift to Jet, surprised, though Stunts most of all. I take a moment to silently appreciate that StarCraft 2 doesn't require a pro license to play in Star Leagues. Did you do it? Oh my god, Stunt! No! What the hell is wrong with you? Jet snatches her glass off of the table and snaps her arm back, when Stunt recoils and shrinks beneath the table. She returns her drink to her lips with a satisfied smirk. Is it a crime to wander? Axel drops his fist to the table with a thump, ending the argument and earning our attention. We are going to play a drinking game. Why? Aren't we drunk enough? Why? Because we're about to condemn ourselves to lives of timing attacks, hard contains, and positional play. We've got one night to get hammered, and we're going to make the most of it. Oh yeah, alcohol poisoning, here I come. You've convinced me. What do you want to play? Oh, let's play the King's Game. Shut up. The King's Game is for desperate teenagers. She glances over Stunt and offers a smile to make her point. Nah, chopsticks. It's really simple. I say something that might describe one of us more than the others, and we point at who we think that said describes the best. I don't follow. Okay, it's like this. Which of us is most likely to hate soju? And then everyone points at me. Axel takes a chopstick from the table and points it at me, as do Jet, Riva, and Stunt. And then you drink, but we won't count that one. Oh, that makes sense. Why don't you start us off with a few? Uh-oh. Most likely end up a neat? What is a neat? N-E-E-T. Most likely to have the worst fans? Most likely to bang a fan? What? Most likely to be a virgin? What? Let's just... what is neat? What? Let's go with this one. Which of us has the worst fans? Pfft, it's not like anyone but Axel and I even... Jet's train of thought shatters when she notices 4 chopsticks pointed in her direction. What? Defiantly, Jet aims her own at Axel. He merely grins in response. Be honest, when was the last time you had a meet and greet session when some fanboy didn't slobber all over you? Your brusque attitude attracts a certain type of fan, Jet. What's that supposed to mean? It means they like it when you call someone trash. Come on, you're the one that gives those blunt pre-game interviews. I simply say what's on my mind. If that happens to be how confident I am, then so what? And what does that have to do with my fans? Let's put it like this. Riva, what would you say to the crowd before a big finals match? Oh, the spotlight's on her. I would like to thank my fans for cheering for me. I have worked hard to improve my condition and will send my opponents to Andromeda. I promised you to show good games. Oh yeah, the serious look of pushing up the glasses. So you'll get earnest supporters that love to see you do well. But Jet, your fans want you to lose almost as much as they want you to win. That's absurd. People that cheer for my losses aren't my fans. Whatever you want to call them, they're yours, and yours alone. Don't pretend like you don't know what we're talking about. I have plenty of nice and well-intentioned fans. You're just focusing on the minority of terrible ones. Oh, like the guy who brought a body pillow? What? Like the guy who brought a body pillow with your picture to an autograph session? How could I forget? Jet's expression flashes a mixture of anger and embarrassment. She looks ready to throw a punch. God damn it, Axel! I told you about that in confidence. If any one of you ever bring that up again, you die. Value my safety. I'm kinda interested though. Did you sign it? That's such a stunt comment. Did you sign it? Without consciously realizing it, I find myself dodging something. Jet's shot glass whizzes past my head and shatters on the wall behind me. From across the room, a few of the bar's patrons laugh drunkenly at the absurdity. Really? In some bars here, you'd probably get thrown out or something, or be like, what the hell? They walk up to you. She reaches for another, apparently intent on making sure she gets her point across. I'm left with no choice but to raise my hands and surrender. I don't need to know. She sets her glass down and looks away from the rest of us, still hot-faced from the negative attention. Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to do all of them. Most likely end up a neat. What is a neat? Which of us is most likely to end up a neat? 4 sets of chopsticks immediately fall onto Rita. One of her sticks slips out from between her fingers and onto the floor. Me? Come on, you give off a powerful shut-in vibe. I do not understand. You're doing it right now. It's like you learned how to communicate from a text-to-speech program. Oh god. Riva, what do you like besides games and eSports? Do you have any hobbies? I watch anime. Anything else? See? Jet is doing her best to keep from piling on, but the urge is evident on her face. But I have StarCraft, so I cannot be a need. That should be considered employment. Sure, but the question was who was most likely. If you washed out of professional gaming, I could totally see you as an MMO addict. I have max level characters in the most popular 3, but that doesn't qualify me as an addict on its own. God, how? Those games are distinguishedly grindy. You really aren't helping your case. Okay, answer this. What StarCraft community site do you read and post on the most? It's an image board. Drink, Deriva. It's your turn to drink. Alright, we got 4 more to go, or 2 more rather, 2 out of the 4, but I think we're gonna end the video here. It's kinda sucky that we have to do it halfway of the party, or celebration at least, but it's time. So thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more, and I will see you in the very next video. Peace!